This video is created for the Four Corners Regional Education Cooperative, the State Technology Initiative. Our goal is to assist teachers in implementing technology into their lessons. This topic is Kahoot for your classroom. And here's the website that you can go to. You can just type in kahoot.com, or you can scan this QR code. You can pause the video and scan the QR code, and it will also take you there. Before we go any further, please pause the video, scan this QR code, and sign in to the training session so we can track who's participating in these lessons. All right, thank you for signing in. First off, what is Kahoot? And here's a link to how it works if you wanted to look at it. What Kahoot is it's an online app in which you can create gamified quizzes and lessons for your students. You can import slides you've already created and add interactive questions. You can create new slides, or you can use the millions of Kahoots that other educators have shared. And this is just a broad overview of what's available for Kahoot. The blue checks are what's part of the free version, and the gold crowns is included only in the premium paid version. But there's a lot that you can do with just the free version. Okay, so in order to explore Kahoot, you really need to sign up. There is a place where you can look around a little bit before you sign up. Let me go ahead and show you that. This is when you go to kahoot.com. There's a lot of information here, but if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, under resources, there's explore content. And it keeps saying to explore more content, you can log in, but this is just in case you haven't signed up yet or kind of want to look at it before you sign up. So you could just scroll through and look and see this is what other educators have submitted and shared. So you can find something that looks interesting to you, you can click on it. And this is the Museum of Science. There's quite a few different Kahoots that have been shared. You can just pick one. And it will take you, and again, it still keeps telling you to log in or sign up, but you can at least kind of see what that looks like. There's 2 slides, like an introductory slide, a slide that has a video, and then there's some 10 question slides. Okay, so that's where you can kind of look before you sign in, or before you log in. But eventually you're probably going to want to, if you're going to use it, you're going to want to create an account. So if you just click on the sign up, choose yourself as a teacher and your workplace. This is to the point where I can't really show you because I have already signed up. But I'll go ahead and sign in. Oh, this is creating an account, I'm sorry. Backtrack, and I'm going to log in. So when you do get to the point where you're trying to sign up, it kind of looks like you have to pay for a version of it. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's after it shows the pricing and all for their premium accounts, there's a place that'll say continue with basic. And if you click on that, that's where you have access to the free stuff. All right, so once you're logged in, here's where it says continue with basic. Click on that. I can tell that I'm logged in if I click on this icon here. It's got my name and some, or I could look at some of the information there, but I just have the free version. Okay, so once I'm logged in, there's 3 places that are of interest: the Discover, the Library, and the Reports. Discover is where you can go look at all the shared Kahoots that other educators have shared. Library is where things are that you create, and also if you find a shared one that you want to use, it will be stored in the library. And then Reports shows you an overview of the Kahoot sessions that you've hosted. All right, so if we go to Discover first, they're affiliated with a lot of companies. The notice says premium collections, so these are a lot of them you're not going to be able to use unless you do go to a premium option. If you come down here, if you just keep dragging down, you see stuff that says subscribe. But if you keep going, you will see things that you can look at. You can search. You can leave if you have a specific topic that you want, you could type in the topic, something like plant and animal cells. What grade are you teaching? What subject is it? And it will filter it for you. Once you get a filter in, you kind of have to watch the ones that say K plus access pass. Those are ones that will only be part of the premium. But if you look at this one next to it, it doesn't have that. It just says 13 questions. That's available for you to use and save and duplicate and all that. So you just kind of look and see which ones are available to you. If you just come over here to the courses, are all ones that you have to purchase. They all seem to be reasonably priced, like $3 or $4. I have not purchased any. I just try to stick with the free stuff. If you come over here to Kahoots, then it filters out any of the courses. And again, so these are just all ones that other educators have shared about plant and animal cells. So you can use them, you can download them and edit them to fit your needs, or you can just look at them to get ideas of what other people have done. So that's Discover. Library is where, like I said, ones that you make and ones that you download. So like here's a duplicate of a plant and animal cells. It always calls it duplicate of. It does not affect the ones, if you start trying to edit it, it does not affect the other people's versions. You get a duplicate of it, and then whatever you do only saves it to your account. So if you do find one that you kind of want to edit a little bit, if you look over here to the right, the little pencil says edit. You can click on that, and you could go change the question, change the answers, a lot of different things. If you decide that it's kind of what you want, but you need to revise it a little bit, you can do that. And then just make sure you hit save. Okay, so we've already looked at this slide, exploring the pre-made Kahoots. When you get ready, you can create your own Kahoot. You may not find one that is close to what you want, or you just may have something in mind already that you want to create. So just wherever you're at, you can click on the home button, but even right here where I'm in the library, there's a create button. Even if I click on home, that create button stays there. So I'm going to click on create. And I'm only going to focus in on Kahoot. It says Kahoot is a short interactive lesson with polls and quizzes. A course is longer lessons with videos, documents, and assessments. You could actually add videos and stuff to a Kahoot also, but we're going to focus mostly on Kahoots. And when you click on that, there's a few things that are already here pre-made, but we're going to create a new one from scratch. And this is what it looks like. Up here at the top, it says start typing your question. Right below that, if you had a video that you wanted them to watch or a picture that you wanted them to look at, you could put it in here. If you don't have anything, you just leave that and then it just won't show anything there. And then here's your place for your 4 answers. If you needed more than 4, the little star by it means you can't add more unless you pay for the premium. But in most cases, 4 answers is plenty. Okay, so you can just start typing your question. Just whatever you want to put in there. If you had a picture of the sun, according to this question, you could put it in. Up here at the top, you can format your question. Bold, italics, you can do superscripts and subscripts. There's some symbols there. The f of x is a math equation editor if you wanted to do math equations. Sometimes when I do the math equations, I don't like the way it looks up here. So there's been times that I've created a math equation like in PowerPoint or something, saved it as a JPEG, and then put it in here as a media, and I just liked the way it looked better. But anyway, so then you come down here, put in your answer choices. And you have to make sure you mark which one's the correct answer. So these circles over here, as you hover over them, the correct answer, you put a check mark. Okay, you can make some choices here. I believe, yes, the only thing that's available on the free version is quiz or true false. But you can make those choices there. You can decide if you have a certain amount of time that you want them to be able to answer the question. It defaults to 20 seconds, but you can change that if you want to. Points. It's kind of a game, so it awards points. So you can choose whether you want it standard. Is this question going to be worth twice as many points for whatever reason, or you can have it worth no points to kind of lower the stakes. Okay. If you click up here on the top where it says preview, you can click on that and it will show you what it looks like. So now you can see I didn't put an image in here, so there's just nothing there. There's a countdown going on because there's 20 seconds. This shows you how many answers, like if you have 15 kids, once it gets to 15, you know, you've got all your students have answered the question. And down here at the bottom, you can exit preview. Okay, you have over here to the right, you can either add a question or add a slide. Add a slide would be like a title slide, or if you just needed something where you just wanted to put a video for them to watch or a picture for them to look at or whatever, you would do the add slide. If you wanted another question, you'd do add question, choose which one you want, and again, keep going from there. Once you've got it complete, or you need to stop for a while before you come back to it, you can click on save. It says I can't save it yet because my question 2 is missing everything. So let's go and just say keep as draft. And then this is it right here. Okay, so let's go on. Here's the steps, and this will be in a Word document where you could follow along with the steps. These are the steps of what to do, how to save it, all this. So that's what we've already covered. Okay, once you have a Kahoot completed, or you found one that was shared and you're ready to play it, you're ready for your kids to interact with it, the first thing you do is go locate the Kahoot under either recent or favorites. Okay, so it's in library, and then here's recent, here's drafts, so I wouldn't want to use draft, anything in there because they're not complete, or favorites. So I have one favorite that I got from Ranger Rick that's Get to Know Pandas. I could do that, or under my recent, there's a few here that I've chosen to do. Alright, so let's say I want to do the plant and animal cells. So I've got one selected that I'm ready to go for. You have to decide how you want to share it. You can assign it, which makes it self-paced, and you can share it through Google Classroom or send the students a URL link. Or you can choose Start, which is teacher-led. Is the only option available under Start. There's a premium option of student-paced there also. But if you look here, there's Assign and Start. Okay, so if I click on Assign, it says send this Kahoot as homework or as an assignment. Great for self-paced learning, so I could click on it. You can put in the date that it needs to be done by. You can turn the timer on and off. You can decide if you want. It's randomized. It's limited to 40 players, which hopefully you don't have a class with more than 40 students in it. And you could click Create. And share it to your Google Classroom. If you were using Canvas instead of Google or some other learning management system, you could copy the URL and put it in there. Okay, so that's under the Assign. If you just have your class ready to go and you want them all to do it with you, you click on Start. Start says, I'll start a live Kahoot. Start an interactive lesson by hosting this Kahoot live with students. So if we click on it, loads it. And you have a choice between classic mode, which is individual students, or team mode. I'm just going to do the classic. So let's get ready to join. There's several options on how your students can join. They can just go in the browser to kahoot.it. There's an app that you can download and have it on their devices already. They would need to enter this PIN number in, or here's also a QR code that they can, if they have a device, that they could take a picture of the QR code that could take them straight to it. But this game pin is created a new pin each time you do this. Okay, it says waiting for players. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to kahoot.it in a different window. And so this is like, I've got two different tabs open here now. This one is what the students see. It's asking for the game pin, so it knows which one for them to go to. And this is what you see, or what will be on the overhead projector for your class to see. So we need this 9606197. I think I can just copy it, paste it. For some reason it does all that, so it's probably easier just to type it in, but I can just delete all the extra stuff that came with it and hit enter. You can type in a nickname, and it does make them type in some sort of name. Alright, so now this is what a student would see. It says, do you see your name on the screen? So if we go over here to the overhead projector, it shows me as being logged in. And if there were more students, it would show all of them logged in. I can tell that there's one person in here now. If you have 15 kids, you would want to wait until all 15 were logged in and ready to go. Once they're ready, you click on Start. So I'm going to be going back and forth between the overhead view and the student view. So right now I'm in the overhead view. Here's the student view, just sitting here waiting for me to start the game. Okay, so I'm going to click on Start. Here's the title screen. Okay, if I go to the student, all the student sees are the color choices. They have to look up at the projector to see what the question is and what the answer choices are. So if the nucleus is the correct answer, they would click on the blue and tells them whether they're right or wrong. And if we look over here at the projector view, it is showing, this wouldn't show until everything was done. Okay, so then we could click on Next, and it goes to a scoreboard. The scoring is based not only on did they get it correct, but the speed in which they got it correct. So the 3 people could have gotten the answer correct, but one person would have more points than the other 2 because if that person put their answer in quicker. So it just shows a scoreboard, and there would be more people on here. Right now there's only one person in here. So we'll see what the student's view looks like. It says correct. I got 522 points, and I've gotten a streak of getting one question right. Back to the overhead view, I'm going to click Next. I'm going to read the question. It's giving me 20 seconds to decide. This is what's on the overhead view. If I click to the student's device, again, there's no question, no answers, it's just the color-coded. They have to look up at the screen to decide. So let's pick the yellow one. Over here is a student. Oh, I ran out of time. So I didn't get my question in quick enough, or my answer in quick enough. So you can judge if you need to give them more time, you can revise the time for later. Okay, so there's scoreboard again. Here's the next question. There's the answers. Students have to look up at the projector, pick their answer just according to the color. Oops, I got it wrong. But I'm still on the podium because I'm the only one there. If I go back to the overhead view, this is what's showing. Scoreboard. And I'm just going to go ahead and Put some answers in just so we can see what's going on. Finish this out. Okay, so I'm just finishing this out so we can move on. I'm on question 7 out of 10. See my scores going up. 8 out of 10. Here's my last question. Okay, once we've gone through all those question slides, it has a little podium ceremony. Third place person, second place person, their name would be up here. First place person. So just kind of a little game. You can, like I showed you earlier, you can take the points away if you don't want the pressure of people getting points. Okay, you can play it again. You can view summary. All kinds of stuff. All right. When I come over here to reports, here's the one that we just did. I can click on it. I get a little bit of information. I think you get more, of course, if you do the premium. But you can see a little bit of information. What was the most difficult question? That kind of stuff. Right, so that's once you have one created or have one found that you want to play, that's how you get it to your students. Okay, this slide is just showing you how we accessed and what it looks like. Like I said, the scoring for the game, students are awarded points for each correct answer based on the speed in which they answer the question. So even if 3 people got it right, they may get different number of points depending on how quick they were at getting the answer right. And then they have the little awards ceremony. Okay, there is an app for both Android and iOS. You can just go to the store and search for Kahoot and download the app onto your students' devices. Makes it easier, quicker for them to be able to get to the games. All right, so that is how you use Kahoot. Just a quick overview. I'm sure there's a lot more that we could cover, but just try to keep this down to a minimum amount of time just to get you started. I appreciate you attending this session. If you would take a minute, pause the video, scan this QR code, and take a short survey about this lesson. Thank you once again for attending.